So, Christina, I mean, you've done this unusual thing of doing two MAs, one in journalism, one in photography. Interesting combination, but a tough one at that.
Yeah, it's actually, I have a master's in journalism and in photojournalism specifically, because I've liked photography for a long time. It was a hobby of mine for a long time. And of course, especially when you go out as a journalist, people are saving money wherever they can. So if you are able to write a story and also provide pictures, people will be more than happy. Editors will be very happy to have that. So I went back to school and did a master specifically in photojournalism just to broaden my knowledge and deepen my knowledge of photography.
Of these two, which one do you tilt more towards, or you treat them exactly equally?
I don't think I do. I still tend more towards writing, I think, because I'm more comfortable with it. I'm better at it. I have much more experience in it. Photography is still something that I feel I have a lot to learn about, and it's more of a challenge for me. It's more difficult. Sometimes I don't get the results that I'm hoping for, and it's a bit more of a struggle, but I really enjoy it.
When you take on a new culture, which is as unusual as, say, life on Mars, because I mean, it's a different world away. Mm-hmm. What are the biggest challenges there to photograph it?
I suppose for one, you have to find out the taboos of that particular culture, group of people, whether they're comfortable with being in front of the camera lens. For example, in Dubai, where I live, people are not comfortable to have their picture taken.
Yeah.
Locals, they don't like it, and I get told no a lot when I ask if I can take somebody's picture. But you have to accept that. I think I don't like to snatch a picture without somebody noticing, because I don't think it's fair. So, and I think that's a big challenge actually. Just to go up to somebody and ask them if you can take their picture, it's quite daunting when you don't know that person.
That's a very interesting issue you raise. I didn't think of it so deeply, but in terms of ethics of photography, what are the other issues that you could come across in an intercultural kind of setting?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, some cultures think that if you take their picture, you snatch their soul or something like that, and you have to take that seriously. You don't want to do that and really upset somebody, or even just some cultures are very private and personal, and they,
True.
You don't want to intrude. But of course, at the same time, as a photographer, you want to get that image, so you have to. You have to try to
True.
take that step and at least ask.
Yeah, everyone has a different sense of personal space, I guess, and the camera being only 100 years old or whatever is like an intrusion to some societies, and we probably need to respect that,
Yes.
I don't know, but interesting. And what if you had one dream project, what would it be?
Difficult to say.
Where would it be, maybe, if we want to zero in on? In which part of the world?
I don't know. I'm very interested in the Rohingya Muslims in Burma, for one. There's a lot of issues there, or even the hill tribes in northern Thailand. I'm very interested in them, and they're it's not easy to get
access.
there, to get access. Personal safety is obviously an issue,
True.
but also just language barriers, because I don't speak the languages. And government regulations, possibly they don't want you to go in there and photograph these people. But there's a lot of issues with statelessness. I'm very interested in the issue of statelessness and the problems that creates.
So do you have any certain preferences, certain biases? Do you like news? Do you like sports? Do you like people? Do you like conflict as a photographer?
I don't like conflict, actually. I think a lot of photojournalists go into war photography and conflict, and that's, when you look at World Press Photo, for example, it's most of the images that win have something to do with war and conflict, and I don't really like that, because I think there's so much more to the world than just war. It's
True.
important, it's an important
True.
topic, but not the only one. I like people stories, I like cultures, maybe cultures that are not so well known, just bringing something to people that they can learn something about, somewhere that they didn't know before, and that's what photography does. You don't just read words, you can see, so travel photography I think is great, because you can show people, you can bring it to the living room, anywhere around the world you can bring to the living room. So.
As a woman, any handicaps with photography, or any plus points? You find it easier or more difficult in some ways, or both?
I think it can be both. Sometimes, you're in situations where maybe it's a man's world, and depending on the culture maybe as well. But it can also help. I think women are less intimidating in general.
True.
So
in a man's world, a woman is less intimidating in that sense.
Yeah. So people might be more open to interacting with you, and especially in cultures where, maybe there's a lot of segregation of women and men. Obviously, I could talk to women, whereas a male photographer could not. Children might be less inhibited with a woman than with a man and things like that. So it can make it easier also.
Which are the 3 best images maybe that you remember, you like of your own?
My own. There's an image I took at a feast, I forget, I think Sirida or something, of a chanas roaster. And I love that image.
Gram, the roasted gram.
And he was roasting them, and he was bare-chested and sweating and doing his job, and there was flames in the background. And
it's hot work,
Yes, it's hard work. But
hard work and hot work.
Yes, hot work also. I like that a lot. Let me think. In Cambodia, I took a few images that I was quite happy about, just of street children and things like that, where I just thought they captured the atmosphere quite well, that I was quite happy about. And actually one picture of my grandmother shortly before she passed away, and she was really, really laughing.
Really?
And
at what age?
I'm now 84.
I see.
And that image now I treasure a lot because it just shows that she looks so happy, It was actually just a snap, so probably from a skills point of view, it's not a great image, but it means a lot.
You prefer color or black and white, and you prefer video or still?
Definitely I prefer still. And color or black and white, it depends. I think I lean towards appreciating black and white because I think it distills things more and you have to actually work harder. And I've actually been accused of getting distracted with colors where maybe there's not much else to my image besides a fantastic color. So it's probably better for me when I do black and white photography. But I sometimes, color. In India, colors are amazing, so it's kind of sometimes I feel a bit of a waste to do black and white.
And this technology thing, the way it's changing our field, I mean, do you have strong views on it? Because today everyone is a photographer and,
It's nice because everyone has the chance, to express themselves and to send in images of what's around them. And sometimes you don't have to be a great photographer. Maybe you're in a situation where something amazing is happening, something interesting is happening, and you happen to be there and you have your iPhone, you snap away. And it's great because otherwise people wouldn't have seen it. So I like it. I mean, I also still like film photography. It's very different process. And you approach it very differently, you think about it differently because you have to buy the film and
it's cost,
it's costly.
You have to stretch it,
You think more about the images you take because you can't just snap away. But digital is also very handy because it's fast, it's easy.
One last thing about the places you worked in.
Pardon?
The places that you worked in the media.
I've worked, do you mean media outlets or countries?
Yeah, media outlets basically.
I started out in newspapers and magazines.
In the US?
In Germany and the US.
Okay.
And I also worked in Bangkok, in Bahrain, and Dubai.
I see.
And the UK.
Quite a lot of.
Yeah, and I'm quite magazines, newspapers, that's still what I do. So I mean, every now and again you do something for the internet or something like that, but mostly newspapers or magazines.
Thanks so much.